Welcome back to episode 161 of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's going on, Willis?
All right, on the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
And I'm just here in the Metaverse.
Oh, we're going to start off with that, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is actually, we haven't introduced this yet on the podcast.
No, but we've sort of talked about it here and there, right? So MML, Msquared, the other side, they're releasing this tech called MML. Mm-hmm. It's a Metaverse markup language, and we're here running around, and eventually I'll find Iman.
I'm right behind you, dude.
Oh, you're here?
Check your 6.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I am.
All right. So you'll lead the path. You explore. I'll follow you as we talk about this.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
And so anyway, Msquared is releasing this technology about a week ago, and they're proposing a technology where it allows people to use HTML and JavaScript to collaboratively build the metaverse together. Mm-hmm. And so this is one example of it. Eventually, we'll have enough access to like create our own kind of virtual environment, but this is their test grounds, and we're just kind of running around here. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, the big talk of the town in the Ordinals ecosystem is Bitmap, right? Bitmap. So you're going to be watching this probably on Saturday. And today is Tuesday, the 20th, I believe. Mm-hmm. And today we have about 250,000 inscriptions or so. Last night it was about 100,000 inscriptions. So it increased 150,000 fold.
Yeah.
Or 150,000 inscriptions since in 24 hours.
Right, but by the time this podcast is published, which is many days from now.
Yeah.
It will probably be minted out or very close to.
Yeah,
right?
So that'll be a good test. So I invite you guys to go to unisat.io, mm-hmm. go to search, go to text, type in .bitmap, check out that number.
Yeah.
So that number today looks like 254,000.
Yeah, which is crazy because I literally went to sleep last night and I tweeted out before I went to sleep. It was like, wow, we're so cool. We had 40,000 inscriptions today, guys. Yeah. Let me go to sleep. And then I woke up. It was like, oh, 100,000 more inscriptions while I was asleep.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane. You know, so the pace of acceleration to this is way more than we were expecting. We were downstairs and we were talking. Oh, look, this guy's talking to us. Oh. He said, hiya. I'm going to say hello. So this is it, dude. We're already engaging on the next social layer of the internet. See?
Oh, yeah, this is it.
Let's do a live demo, guys. So this is like what the MVP experience, I would say, of like the metaverse.
Yeah.
It's the social layer, right? There's many different components to the metaverse experience as a whole. You know, you got social, there's an economic experience, you know, there's going to be an educational component. Anything you could facilitate as far as like global servicing.
Whoa, dude, this guy's manipulating the environment in real time.
Is this guy a dev or what?
He said, oops, he messed it up. He clouded us.
He changed like my whole thing just turned dark.
Yeah. He put some sort of GLB above us. I don't know what this is, but it's gigantic.
Wow. Go ahead and
he's messing with it right now. Look at that.
Go ahead and wreck me, daddy. That's what I told him.
Wow. Very nice, dude. Oh, it's behind us.
It basically means you have free reign, dude. He's literally God at this moment.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell?
Dude,
he just deployed a whole thing on me.
Dude, we're watching this in real time.
What is that?
It's like
Is that a credit card? It looks like an Epic One card, dude. Remember those?
Yeah.
It looks like one.
That was a giant machine. It just appeared and disappeared. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about the metaverse. I mean, that could have been business, right? That could have been anything.
That is pretty wild. So what is he? He's actually using MML right now.
He is using MML right now. So it's basically a client. It's basically like a HTML text editor, right?
Right.
You have HTML at the top. You have JavaScript at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And here he is dropping in that thing.
Right. So what he's on his computer or whatever, his interface, it's literally just like a code editor, right? And he's typing in little scripts of like HTML or like you're saying JavaScript, and it's having instantaneous response. And the cool thing about MML, if there were multiple virtual environments like just like this one, he could be doing the same thing in all of them, like in tandem, right?
That's right. That's right. So if there are multiple virtual worlds, he could deploy this thing, edit them at the exact same time in those virtual worlds.
Yeah, so that's what MML is kind of like addressing as far as like what are the core, I guess, of value adds to a developer who's leveraging this new, I guess, framework.
Yeah.
It definitely, I think it improves efficiencies by like a long shot or a long stretch, right? Yeah. As far as obviously you can create impact in multiple virtual environments simultaneously, but also you can create like whole new experiences that are truly interoperable, right? And like different communities, different user bases, whatever, are interacting with these things in real time.
And so right now we're looking at a GLB. So basically this doesn't really do anything, but you can code it to where this does something, where you can click on it, this opens up, this container, whatever it is.
Maybe when the door will open and
it releases zombies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then now, like, some guns will just spawn out of nowhere. Pick up your gun, dude.
Yeah,
now you're all like in a fucking
100%. You could do that.
Let's fucking do that, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So this is a great dude. Shout out to what's his name? Skibby. I don't know who you are, Skibby, but you're killing it, dude. You're killing it, man.
He's already killing it with just dropping one GLB in the metaverse.
Well, dude, you know how far ahead he is? He's just like sitting here tinkering, and I think
he's by himself and he's tinkering. Yes.
Well, now we're with him. He's got friends now, dude. That's the beauty. You know, we're co-creating in a way.
It's like you have friends now.
Keep it up, Skibby. You demand.
Okay. Did you know that we're more than just a YouTube channel?
We also built MetaZone, the first app store for the metaverse.
Buy, sell, and explore a new class of digital assets like our flagship game, Rovi.ai.
Support us by collecting your digital assets through MetaZone at metazone.io.
Like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated.
Back to the video. So we're giving them real life props, right? This is what developers usually never get, dude. They have to code away in their lonely little freaking caves.
Yeah.
Nobody's rooting them on as they develop shit. But now dude, this is actually kind of cool. It's a cool concept, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We can watch devs like build in real time and like cheerlead them on. Imagine how cool of a society it would be if we all
we were actually cheerleading the actual creators of cool stuff.
Yeah, like imagine if scientists got to experience that. It's like as they're like concocting the next big thing like to improve humanity. You're like, yeah, people are just like, let's go. Yeah. Instead, we're like cheering on, the fucking Cowboys and shit.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
The Dallas Cowboys. That's like, yeah, fuck each other up.
Yeah, that's a weird timeline we're on, huh?
Well, I mean, now we get to empower the nerds, dude. So back your favorite creators here in the metaverse in real time. Watch them create.
Yeah.
Watch them produce.
All we could do is just jump, dude.
Yeah, we suck. We could literally just be cheerleaders.
Yeah, but you know what? It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to learn HTML, obviously, and JavaScript. So we could be creators.
Dude, that is literally in every fucking bookstore. That's like one of the first books on display at any end cap.
It's like learning how to read, and it's like HTML. So right next to each other.
It's like coding for dummies.
That's exactly what it is. Coding for dummies.
It's always HTML and JavaScript. Yeah. That's as basic as it gets. And like there's a whole framework now operating on that language. Dude, that's such a good point.
He's moving in.
Now I have a real dude, I think
I have clap.
Wait.
I think you can.
Yeah, there it is. Clap.
Yeah, let's give him some
that's
clap.
A wave. That was a wave. There's a clap. Very nice.
Very nice, guys.
I'm pretty sure Skibby loves this. Actually, he probably like hates this. He's like, dude, you guys are really pissing me off. It's like, can I work? Can I build?
Yeah, why don't you guys do something?
Yeah, dude.
All right, so if you're listening in audio format, definitely watch the YouTube channel. That way you understand what the hell we're talking about.
I think there's something to that, though. Like, he could definitely get, like, real-time feedback from... He's like, which way do you like this? And you're like, oh, definitely facing the left.
I totally agree. Yeah, like imagine a community, right? They're a PFP project.
Yeah.
You get a team of developers into a virtual environment like this, and you could literally construct the game in real time with your community involved in the decision-making process, right? Like, just like TJ said.
Yeah.
Let's deploy some models. Let's implement some MVP functionalities. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
You guys like this?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? This is cool. But how about the zombies can also jump?
Yeah.
They don't just crawl. They
Yeah.
can get up and run and shit. It's like, okay, give me a second. Go back to the lab. Give me like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Come back, deploy it. Yeah, dude, I like this. This is something new. Like, I don't think this has ever existed. Like,
no,
this,
definitely
this
not.
type of
not like this.
This type of feedback of community leverage potential, right? This is dope.
Yeah. So, man, and this is a purely random. We don't know Skibby. He's just like messing around with this, and we just stumbled upon it. Like, what other things are we going to stumble upon when hundreds of thousands of people are building the metaverse?
Yeah.
Right, through this bitmap protocol.
I don't know, dude.
Right.
This is just test world, dude. Like, imagine real world.
Yeah.
like past beta experience.
Yeah.
You know. And so this is important for all you bitmap citizens. Oh shit. Did it open? Oh no, it didn't. I thought it opened. Because a lot of you guys are new to the whole metaverse space as a whole, right? You know, if you bought into the concept on Ethereum, then you've had many years to interact with and witness the progress, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about like the kind of the limitations of having a world that has a max land size limit, right? So we have multiple iterations of this happening on Ethereum, and I'm sure there were some to some extent happening on other chains like Solana and so forth.
Yeah.
But when you limit the amount of land that can exist, you limit the amount of people that can actually own the land.
Yeah.
And you limit your market size. And you limit the capability of sustainability. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So the opposite of what was happening on Ethereum should happen in order to sustain existence in the metaverse.
Yeah.
So what that means is having a world that is accessible, right? That's the single most important thing. And that's why Bitmap took off, right? When we talked about it, was 300 inscriptions.
Yeah.
Now, if you take a look at it, it's probably minted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah, we'll see.
And it costs about $1, $2 to mint a land.
Yeah.
To mint a district that represents up to roughly on average 2,000 transactions.
Right. And that's just the cost of today because there is no market as far as, you know, well, there is a secondary market emerging. You know, now these things are tradable on OrdSwap, on Ordinal's wallet.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some tweets from Magic Eden, like it's definitely on their radar. I'm sure they're seeing that Bitmap as of today is the highest volume traded Ordinal project on the whole market.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Magic Eden's like,
yeah,
you know, licking their chops.
Right.
You know, I was like, dude, we should probably, you know, take our share.
Yeah.
As platforms do, right? You know, they compete. So yeah, probably by the end of the week, they'll all be onboarding Bitmap and then, you know.
Yeah.
Off to the races, dude.
Yeah.
And then, in the future, it won't be $2 anymore to enter.
Yeah, that's correct. So. But it could be, right? Every day, 144 new districts get minted.
Right. But, I mean, assuming demand increases for block ownership just because of, you know, just because for whatever market forces dictate the demand.
Yeah, but also think about this, right? The 2,000 transactions or 2,000 parcels per district on average, 2,000 times 700,000.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're looking at billions of...
Well, that's the point, yeah. The accessibility is always going to be there no matter what, right? Not everybody's out there just trying to, like, monetize everything. Yeah. And that's the thing, the market for this Bitmap ecosystem is going to be so large that there's going to be many different, like, you know, interpretations and dynamics within it. Like,
this really changes the game so much because I mean, we have a lot of experience in Decentraland and building stuff in Decentraland, and the size limit in terms of land and people who own land.
Yeah.
Like you have a limited market size, and so when you create an application, you're only selling to that subset of people. And so in order to recoup costs of development, you have to sell your apps accordingly. Right. But here we have potentially millions of people who are going to be owning land on top of Bitcoin. Now your apps could be $1.99, right? That have some functionality that people can just purchase and deploy on their virtual plot.
Yeah.
And so now it becomes even more accessible. Now we have like a real market opportunity here for the metaverse.
100%. Yeah, 1,000% agree. And even like in that context, that scenario itself, because we've been working on that platform, right, with MetaZone for a while now, because we understand all the different, the dynamics within a metaverse ecosystem itself, right? It's a multi-party system, right? There's different people with different motivations, different that's kind of the beauty of this whole virtual layer, right? Not everyone's going to be doing the same thing. Everyone's going to find their own individual purpose, leverage the skills they're good at. Some person might be a good developer. Therefore, most likely their main offering is the creative side of things. They want to produce new things of value.
Yeah.
For everybody who's participating in these ecosystems to deploy.
Yeah.
And to, enable, actualize, right? And proliferate throughout the entire virtual space, right?
Yeah.
Others might be more of like a better organizational type skills, better at marketing and such, right? Not so much code focused, developer focused. They know how to utilize these assets and produce experiences.
Yes.
Attract people.
Yeah.
Attract interest, so everybody is going to be aligned in one way or another, right? And ultimately what we're painting out here is the definition of an economy.
Yes. 100%.
That is the main value potential that is going to be unlocked with the metaverse.
Yes.
Total, like a whole new economy.
Yeah.
Right? That human beings are taking a part of, right?
Yeah. Dude, you could imagine an entire virtual continent of people, of like-minded people joining the metaverse and contributing to the construction of it.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, we have a second layer economic system in the virtual space.
Yeah.
And it's all supported on top of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, how do you not see the sexiness in that narrative, dude?
Well, that's why we have this guy out right now.
Yeah.
The little they don't know fella.
Yeah.
Because that's typically been like our life experience over the last few years.
Yeah.
So people just don't know, I guess. Like and you don't want to be that guy at the party, right? To like walk up and like try and explain these things to them while everyone's just having a good time and shit. Yeah. You don't never want to be that guy.
That's usually me though.
That is you. You always take that initiative.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, Wolf, for telling me like,
have you heard of Bitmap?
Yeah, nobody cares, dude. Yeah. Nobody wants to know. It's the harsh reality, right? But they should know. But it's okay. That's how everything happens, right? Nothing comes about, and all of a sudden, everyone's just on board,
right?
Even something as like obvious as AI, like I'm pretty sure the majority of people are still like, right? Even though like a large percentage of people are aligned and the understanding of the usefulness and the impact of AI.
Yeah.
But it took many, many years to get to that inflection point.
It did.
Which I don't think the metaverse has hit that inflection point yet in its time span. Well,
no, but just like it takes a long time for AI to develop, it's going to take a long time for the metaverse to develop.
Right. So that's largely the reason why the inflection point hasn't happened is because, the scope of technical, I guess, progress that's needed is that's really the thing, right? That's
but you know what?
We're at.
The biggest things that we know of take a long time to develop. The internet.
Yeah.
Right. We've had the ability to we've had the ability to go to the moon since 1969. Mm-hmm. We haven't been back since. Yeah. Right. Right. So things aren't going to happen if you don't work on it. Right. Mm-hmm. So, but we have the internet. People worked on it. Right.
Yeah.
It's the single most important thing that humans have created. Yeah. Right. And
that's what kind of excites me the most about this whole bitmap thing and the metaverse on Bitcoin thesis. Right. I think this again elevates the probability of the metaverse's success potential by a wide margin. Yeah. Like before Bitmap and a standard for the metaverse was created, right?
Yeah.
Because standards are so critical. It is literally how you get human beings aligned to.
It's interesting that it's not, for the people who are aware of the metaverse, it's not obvious that these standards are extremely critical.
Well, not even like in the scope of the metaverse. Just think about all standards that have ever been adopted.
Like vehicle standards, seat belts,
traffic standards systems. Of like civilization, how to build
laws.
Cities. How to like build transportation mechanisms, to get people in and out of these cities. These are things that have been adopted and have accelerated the progress of humanity.
Yeah, 100%.
Made improved efficiencies across the board, right?
Yeah.
They're critical. You can't have all these different interpretations of like, nah, dude, we know what we're doing. You don't. Like, that's when things don't progress.
That's right, 100%.
It's a continual battle amongst the different camps of like, who's right, who's wrong, who's right, who's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah, that's so good, dude.
We're kind of seeing that right now, like in the culture sense. But yeah, I'm not going to bring that up again. let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not segue into another culture discussion, dude. There's a lot to say there, but
yeah,
the point is, standards are needed. So this is the first time the metaverse has seen one.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess we had some calls during the week with some big names, some big influencers in the ordinal space.
Yeah, they were fading bitmap.
Right. And somehow, again, it was up to us to like come in and kind of be the ones to dampen that fade, I guess. Yeah, I reacted to Trevor's tweet he put out, like, because we were kind of like waiting around. When are the big guys gonna like notice this?
Yeah,
because it's like the traction is too much to ignore.
Yeah, by far. This is the biggest ordinals project.
Yeah, we were starting to scratch our chins, right? Like, how come these guys? These are the ordinal guys. These are the guys trying to convince everyone that like Ethereum's old news.
Yeah,
Bitcoin is the ordinal thesis, whatever. It's taking off. And because of it, Bitcoin is going to become the de facto, layer 1 ecosystem, layer 2 in the future, whatever.
Yeah.
For developers to kind of build on top of, right?
Yeah, I remember Batoshi told us that he even tried to contact Leonidas and BitGod and Trevor.
The big guys.
Yeah, early on too, right? And Batoshi also contacted us. Hey, you need to look at Bitmap.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
And that's how all this started. But it's easy to miss this, right?
Yeah. That
we get contacted a lot about all kinds of things, and we do a pretty good job of looking into it. I mean, that's how we found BitTensor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was nothing nefarious, right?
No, it's not.
For those
Definitely
guys.
not.
I think a lot of the people in the community now are like, they've kind of like found their targets, at least some of these diehard bitmappers.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We need those passionate members of the community to really like, hone in on this mission.
Yeah.
But trying to find like vectors of attack, and I don't think is the right thing necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't believe in the metaverse, you don't have to buy it, right? You don't have to like get invested into it, right? That's the cool thing about this is like, you don't think the metaverse is going to work? Just forget about it. Just like we all forgot about Bitcoin when we first heard about it.
Pretty much, yeah. There's plenty of other things to like FOMO into in the Web3 space, right? Not everybody has to pile in to this metaverse thing. It's fine. Focus on DeFi if you want. Focus on picture projects if you want.
Yeah.
You want to roll that stuff out, like you think that's like the max utilization of blockchain? More power to you.
Yeah,
dude.
go for it.
You got this.
Yeah.
But that's not us.
Yeah.
We've been there, we've done that, we've seen all that stuff, and we're seeing all those same things. It all happened on Ethereum years ago.
Yeah. And it was replicated on Solana.
Right.
Soon after.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Binance, Apple, everybody's got pictures up the ass, right? So so ordinals, it's like that's the big thing, right? That's the proof of concept. It's like, dude, we could do pictures too, right? And we could do it better than you. Like that's like the narrative of today. And there's a large movement backing that up. And even like the shit coins and stuff like that, BRC20s.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's happening on Bitcoin. That by itself is attractive enough.
It's been attractive to us.
It turned you, dude, into a Bitcoin lover.
Immediately. I was like, dude, I'm all in. Bitcoin, it's finally cool.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're talking metaverse on Bitcoin. It couldn't have been any cooler than this.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. I see other people running in the background. Yeah,
let's go see if we could expand our social experience, dude. Let's go interact. Right. I'm right behind you, so.
But yeah, we're on a good track. We want to lead this conversation into. Hold on, I'm chatting with.
Hey there. I like how they put the little chat bubble above our names.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's how you would expect it.
Yeah,
man, we just forgot about Skibby over there.
Well, I mean, hopefully these guys do something.
Yeah, right.
This guy said, I just had a chance to jump in after building MML internals all day. Well, deploy some, dude.
Yeah, is it like approaching dawn? Okay, that's cool. So we want to lead this conversation into kind of like what the roadmap for the metaverse is, because it's a long one and it's a complex one. And a lot of the standards need to be developed in addition to just Bitmap, right? We're talking about parcel standards for Bitmap, and then after that is like world building. And that's why we're talking about MML, because we believe that this could be part of that standard.
Yeah.
And because think about this, like right now, it's easy to onboard into the Bitcoin metaverse. It's $1, $2, and you're in, right? Think about MML being as equally as easy from the development standpoint, right? HTML, Java is the same thing as like $1 or $2, right? So a lot of people know those languages and they can deploy functional content, right? So we believe this could be the next standard. And so, all right, now once you have that, it's like, which types of worlds can support this MML standard, right? It's going to be Unity, Unreal, and kind of figure out like all the different networking functionalities that are required for us to be together, right? This costs money, right? Somebody is hosting the server. It is connecting us. It is allowing us to chat, and it costs money, right? And so now, because it costs money, how do I create a business to actually sustain this experience?
Yeah.
Right. And so, oh, look at that. We got
We
got some dogs.
Puppies, dude. I don't see.
Oh, this is like one of the
demos.
Yeah. It's like Hello World demos.
I don't see that though. Oh man.
Oh, and they have collisions and everything.
I've been removed from the WebSocket server.
Oh, really?
I guess I'm not seeing it. I might probably have to refresh or something.
Oh, I see you, but
Dude, look at that guy. This guy's name's Chicken Nugget, dude. Perfect. Damn, dude. Okay, yeah, this is becoming very distracting.
Yeah.
Well, at some point, okay, so
we heard somebody talk.
Yeah, let's spend a few minutes just kind of like observing what's going on in this space, and then let's move on to, I guess, discussing
the rollout
a little bit more of like what it is we're thinking. Like, okay, so we're all in agreement. This bitmap thing.
It's the new standard.
It's the right foundation for people like us to leverage, right? And for people, it's just the right thing. It's what it feels like. Given that we've been working in this metaverse industry for years now, and we've basically seen everything good about it, everything bad about it, up until this point.
Yeah.
And always there's been like this feeling of like, man, something is definitely missing. At least when you start to, what's the word? Contextualize what it is, what's being cooked up on the Web 2 side of things, with Apple's Metaverse offering and Facebook and Meta, and pretty soon NVIDIA and Google. Everybody's going to become a player in this space.
Yeah.
Which is what's contributing to like the multi-trillion-dollar predictions and stuff. So it's like, what is it that's going to differentiate Web 3 from Web 2, right? What is it? Well, shit, Bitmap is like the first real example of that, like how you can leverage the innate properties of blockchain to do something that Web 2 can never do.
Yeah.
Right? To galvanize a real community, all aligned. Everybody has similar incentives to at least contribute to the overall construction of this thing, right?
Yeah.
Not be dependent on like a single entity, a single company, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Right? To actually roll out their vision, their control over these ecosystems and all that stuff. Like that's what's at stake here, right? This is the first time we've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we keep talking about these standards. It's the first time we see that, and that's why we're so bullish on the fact that this metaverse thing is going to work, right? This is the first time that people have been onboarded to the metaverse and like in mass quantities, and it's still not over, right?
Yeah,
and it's going to be completely scalable because of so many opportunities to own a piece of Bitcoin's history. Right, the way that Jack put it from Ordinal Swap, I think. He said that Bitcoin is space and time.
Yeah.
Right. All we've had before this was just space, like just arbitrary space.
Yeah.
Now it's that space plus time that makes this desirable for people.
Yeah.
And so now that people are onboarded, now we're going to see opportunities in ways where we're going to have developers make content, and that content is going to be accessible to so many in a way that the internet's accessible. So that's the opportunity here.
Yeah.
So the roadmap is quite long, but I mean, we got the pieces, right? The pieces are right here. We just got to put it together. We got to put the ingredients together to make that delicious cake.
Okay, so let's go back from the beginning. Let's start looking at some of these maps, bitmaps.
Okay.
Let's get out of Msquared world. So long, see ya, bye everybody. Let me say bye.
Okay.
You can't be rude, right? Even though they're just avatars, they're human beings behind those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Is this what you want to look at?
Well, let's look at let's look at a block. Like let's find I don't know, maybe one you own or just one. Okay, there's one. Now we need so this is what's already has taken off, this concept. People want these things, they're inscribing them, they see value in them, they see the potential. So what's the next step? What needs to come once all these are all minted out? What are we going to do as an ecosystem from this point forward? Right?
So step 2, after everyone has their own district, is to get these parcels inscribed and out to a larger community.
So that whole block is what you're calling a district.
This whole block is a district, correct?
Yeah.
And so this district is made up of transactions of a given block, of this particular block, and those transactions are now parcels in this district.
And this isn't like nomenclature that we thought of. This is like part of the standard. This is all part of Batoshi's white paper. But district is a good name for it. Typically, that's what, in the Ethereum side of the metaverse, Decentraland refers to their bigger plots that are all within them are individual parcels. They are districts, right?
Yeah, and if you can imagine, so see, if we're looking at this district, right? This district could be running Unity or Unreal, whatever. Pick a metaverse stack. The next district could be running something completely different.
Could be running crypto voxels or something.
Yeah. Could be completely different. So it's going to be up to the district owner to decide like which metaverse stack they're going to be supporting.
See, we're saying this as if it's like a fact. This is what we want to offer. Right?
Yeah, correct. And I mean, like I said, we've been thinking about this for a long time, and
I know, but I just don't want there to be confusion. You're saying it as if like there's a tool out there to enable this already.
Correct.
That's
not the case.
We need that to be very clear so you guys understand the context of the roadmap.
And right? here's why we're making these conclusions, because we're talking about standards. You could be running your own company, and I'm running my own company. You and I can both build on top of that standard. You have your own vision of the metaverse, and I have mine.
Yeah.
Right. But we're both leveraging the same standard because everybody's using the same exact kind of like onboarding mechanism, right, with Bitmap. But I want to focus on businesses, right, in the metaverse. You want to focus on parties in the metaverse. You think that's going to be sustainable for some reason?
I'm not thinking of sustainability, dude. I'm just
you're not.
I'm just a Chad.
Right. But here's the thing. Right.
I have a lot of friends.
A lot of people are going to think like that, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Right. In order to connect us in this world, we need a server. You can either buy a server and host it at your house, turn it on, and you can connect everybody to that server. And all of a sudden, you and I can see each other in this party metaverse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still going to cost you money to run that server.
Right.
Right. And so what are you going to do with partying that's going to generate you enough income to keep that server on?
I mean, I got to be really fucking cool in order to pull that out. I don't know. I could sell like ordinal passes to my partyverse, right? 100%. There's going to be all kinds of unique business models that emerge from this.
Absolutely.
Right? But yeah, if you have that kind of influencer pool, people just want to hang out with you virtually because you're just that cool.
Right.
There are ways to monetize it, but maybe, I don't know, something happens and I don't know, maybe like a DM leaks on your Twitter.
Yeah.
And like you're not so cool anymore. People aren't going to buy your fucking party passes anymore. Now how do you sustain yourself, right?
Right.
So I know what you're saying. It's always better to think about like an actual sustainable business model.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, you don't go broke.
Yeah, the only reason why I say that is because just like buying a website, you can get a domain for about $10. And then it's like, okay, I got the domain. Now what? It's like, oh, now you got to host it somewhere. I was like, I guess I can host it in my own server, but nobody does that. They go to some server, Namecheap, whatever, that hosts it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now your website is online. People can go visit it.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next step after that? It's like, well, there's nothing on there. So now I have to build a website. It's like now it could be a website that shows your pictures, right? It shows your portfolio of everything you've created.
Yeah.
Right? Something, right? You have to go and build it.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens with the metaverse.
Yeah.
It's like, what are the tools that you can use to actually build out an experience that, we can host a website and that could just come out of my, my income and that's it. It doesn't necessarily need to be sustainable. And the same thing goes with the metaverse.
100%. Yeah.
But in order to create functional things like a YouTube or a Twitter in this 3D experience, and you want to get as big as YouTube or Twitter, you're going to have to create something that brings value to your participants. And so that value, they're going to pay for that, just like we pay for things, for services.
Yeah, like if or they monetize through the traffic alone, I guess. Like,
yeah, or that. Yeah, it could be just ad boards.
Yeah, I mean, as the metaverse, whether you like it or not, once it's I guess mature and has millions of users, this is going to become like an ad mecca for companies.
Yeah, just like real Ready Player One.
Yeah,
and like all these like metaverse type movies, they had just like ads all over everywhere.
The place. It's going to become part of the ecosystem, right? Because sustainability is critical to a lot of, like, nothing gets built unless there's a way to make money.
Yeah, and we're not breaking news here, right?
No, I just it's good for people to have that like expectation, I guess. I mean, I don't know how many years that will take, but
yeah,
it's an inevitability, right? And it's fine. Like, just like the same thing happened on the internet, and because of it, people, were able to build these valuable services for us, right? So we're predicting the same things will kind of like roll out in the metaverse sense. And the cool thing is now, people can have actual ownership of that. Nobody owns the internet.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Like, as a community, I mean, maybe there are companies that own a website, big chunks of it.
You own a website, so it's kind of like
that's true. I guess you're kind of right. Yeah, you do own a website, but
it's not the same as this, right? Yeah, it's not. I mean, it kind of is verifiable, right? Yeah. Because you're owning a domain as part of the.
Yeah, I guess it basically is the same thing. Yeah,
the network.
Right. That is what this bitmap thing is. These are the first.
The domains of the metaverse.
Domains of the metaverse. Literally the developer bandwidth, right? Like, that's right. That's what people are going to build on top of. So yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's bigger than what we can even kind of like conceptualize in our current day moment. It's like one of those things. 10 years from now, we're going to look back like, holy shit.
Yeah, we didn't predict any of this.
Can't believe we were there.
Yeah,
right. We always dreamed about. At least I have personally. Always dreamt about being around like in the early days of the internet, just to like see that whole thing like roll out.
Yeah.
I bet it was magical, dude, just to see like how shitty it was in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
How many people like flooded it and like, just being one of those crazy ones, you know, at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Think about Amazon.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to sell books online.
Yeah, everyone's like,
cool.
Yeah.
That's books, right? Who cares about that?
Exactly.
And then it becomes a $2 trillion company in 20 years.
Right. So that's we all have that opportunity, right? Like, to add this to our life experience, right?
Yeah.
We're very fortunate and lucky to see that happen in real time. One of those things we probably won't notice until, like I said, after the fact. It's like, damn, dude, we were around to see all that happen. Like, fuck, who else gets to go back and relive that tale?
Yeah, nobody,
right? So that's the value, right? Or part of the value that we see. That's why we're so enthusiastic about this. It's been a while since we like dedicated our whole YouTube presence to like a single thing.
Yeah.
Probably the last time was like when we found Potensor. It was like, holy shit, like this is something we want to just focus on, learn more about, right?
Yeah.
And then quickly we got sucked into the ordinal space again, you know?
Yeah, it's just man, we have so much in our brains like that. It's like so many things happening that is so interesting that we have to, like, I don't know, try to keep up with everything, and it's hard to do that.
100%. And to our so okay, let's refocus on roadmap stuff, right? Because we are builders.
Yeah,
we're developers. We've been building stuff for Decentraland specifically, but our focus has always been the broader metaverse thesis, right?
Yeah,
we always knew Decentraland was going to be our beachhead, right? That's the most optimal environment for us to prove that the application layer functional content is going to be what brings the real value, right? When we were talking to Trevor, that was the thing he was so reluctant about. He couldn't wrap his head around, like, where's the value going to be created from?
Yeah.
He knows, like, in the PFP, NFT, ordinal inscription space, value is, like, totally subjective. There's no barrier to creation.
It's just how big is your community and how rabid are they about your pictures? That's it.
There's no technical nothing about it all.
Yeah.
And that's why he's easier. He's a mega bull.
It's easier to create a picture project than to create the metaverse
or anything within it that has the potential for value, right?
And it makes sense, right? Build what you can with what you have, right? We're building things that are for the future, right? That are things that don't exist today and that will exist tomorrow. That's what we like to focus on.
Right. And we've seen these things happen. Like we have seen people build influence and build communities in Decentraland even itself. Like Decentraland isn't a failure. There have been projects that have come in and made millions of dollars in Decentraland. I don't know if you guys know that.
On a monthly basis.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
That's not a failure, dude. Decentraland is a success.
Yeah.
It really is. The metaverse is a success. As soon as somebody was able to come in and make actual sustainable revenue, build companies, like, come on, man. Like, you can't ignore that. You should take note of that and like, dude, we should do more of this. We should figure out how to do this better, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a unique position, right, where we could bring all that experience and all that knowledge and apply it to Bitcoin.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because now's a good time to talk about the project that we're going to be building to support this ecosystem on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that project is called MSCRIBE. All right. So this is going to be sort of a platform that's going to be connected to our existing platform called MetaZone.
Yeah. Yeah, we should put powered on MetaZone somewhere on here. We'll probably add that.
Okay.
Powered by MetaZone.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
But MSCRIBE is going to be one of the first steps after the initial step of inscribing your district.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll go to MSCRIBE to so now we're going to confuse words here.
Yeah.
But after you own a district, you'll go to this mscribe.io website, and you will actually be able to sell the individual parcels.
Yeah.
Right. So you could mint them for free to your community. You can sell them at a given price. Totally up to you. But the capability is going to be there. And it's important that it's there so that the laggards who don't believe in the metaverse, but they want a piece of Leonidas's land, or they want a piece of Snoop Dogg's land, right? They'll be able to get a piece of it by purchasing one of the parcels.
Well, this is the part of like the equation where, once everybody kind of like, cools down from the euphoria of like actually, like everybody's excited about owning blocks, period. Like there's a historical provenance to all of them.
Yeah.
They're all associated to the Bitcoin, everything.
Yeah.
The ethos of Bitcoin, right? That's real value right now. So yeah, once that they're all minted out, there's going to be like a period of a lull. It's like, okay, now what, right? So now the not innate value to Bitcoin itself, now the human value has to like enter the space, right? What is that humans are going to do to create new value, right?
That's right.
So that's what we're basically trying to unlock and enable with this new platform, right?
Yeah.
Like, and this is stage one. Like, you have to give the tools and the functionalities for people like, who has an influence, or people who just has a good idea even. It doesn't have to be an existing influencer. It could be somebody down the line who just has a really good concept.
Yeah.
How we can utilize one of these blocks and all these parcels within it to build a new community. It's all aligned again. That's what's so good about these blockchain tools. They're tools of alignment.
Yes.
That's like the killer app of blockchain is community building.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the team at BitTensor said. The token aligns humanity with AI.
I remember that. That was like one of the most profound.
Yeah.
To the point where he thinks that's going to be the device that prevents AI from
the takeover,
annihilating us.
Yeah.
The fact that we're aligned by a token, it's like, dude, you guys are all right.
Yeah.
We're not going to just exterminate you anymore.
Yeah, you're cool.
You guys are cool.
Yeah.
We like you.
Yeah.
So, but I agree. It's like whenever we all share some tool of alignment, a token is a great example.
Or
we're
Earth.
all like, dude,
it's probably a good idea to take care of Earth so that people exist after us, right?
But that's not like as
it's the same idea.
But not everybody owns Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's the problem. If the people who actually owned the value of Earth did a good job of like giving us some of it too, then we would all probably do a little bit better of a job of like,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, the fact that the ownership of Earth is in the hands of a few.
We definitely do not do a good job taking care of Earth, right? We're polluting it,
right? Well, so what, dude?
Yeah,
it's like I don't own this fucking thing, you know. But if it's like, dude, if I knew like my pollution contributed to the devalue of something that I owned,
sure,
I would probably be a little more reluctant to like pollute my own bags. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Right. So that's what blockchain is unlocking. And we could do this. Now everybody can own the metaverse with this standard, right?
Right.
Now we're all aligned. We don't want to pollute the Bitcoin metaverse in any way.
Yeah, correct.
Because you're devaluing the very thing that you own. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right.
So we talked about MSCRIBE, and so the next step is to getting the actual parcels out to the community and enable a functionality that currently does not exist.
Yeah, and the standard format how to do that.
Yeah, and so that standard is going to be developing on GitHub, and so we invite everybody to contribute to it. But the whole idea is that once that standard is set, then there's going to be a standard that everybody adopts. Unisat, ordinals, like every project out there supporting the ordinals ecosystem, they're going to support this, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. And so once that land is distributed, right? Once the parcels are out there, then the next question is going to be like, now what? Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so the next part is enabling the operating system that runs on top of the district. So we call it the operating system, but it's really the Metaverse stack, right? So someone is going to figure out and platformatize how to distribute that stack by anyone who owns a district. Say, go to MSCRIBE, use this stack, right? Deploy it onto your world, and all of a sudden it procedurally generates your world, for example, and it segments your world by design because all the information is there. And then now the owners of the parcels can start figuring out, okay, now what? Right? It's like, what am I going to deploy here?
Yeah.
And so all this functionality is going to be happening through MSCRIBE, and then the application layer is going to be enabled on top of those virtual experiences.
Which is what we've been building for many years now, right? Because again, this is our thesis of parties are cool, art galleries are cool, all that is going to be part of the metaverse. Avatars are great, art, all that stuff's cool.
Yeah.
But all those are in the buckets of what we label as like static content, which there's nothing wrong with. There's a lot of static content on MetaZone itself, right?
Yeah.
But the best things as far as like, if we were to track what has captured the most retention as far as like from the content side of things, it's always been the stuff with some sort of functionality to it.
That's right.
People have came back regularly to things that, do things in exchange for their interaction.
It's value extraction.
Right. So
whether it's entertainment, whether it's just listening to partying, like you get value out of that.
Yeah.
And so people want to come back to things where they extract value from.
Right. And the only way to do that is through code, through programming of these things, right?
That's right.
So we call those apps, Metaverse apps, metas, Metaverse-enabled tokenized applications. So we've been building that. We completed a seed round a few weeks ago based off of this thesis, and because of the development we've been working on for a few years now. And yeah, so we have a big mission, that we've been, I guess, working towards contributing.
And that's why, because of this background, that's why as soon as we saw Bitmap, we didn't fade it. We were like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is how we onboard the masses into the metaverse on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right. And the sort of like the unintended value proposition here is that everything becomes a lot cheaper. Right. We joined a bunch of Twitter spaces where there was a lot of complaining about things just being so expensive by developers.
Yeah.
And they have to be expensive because the ecosystem that those things were running on was smaller. Right. And so if developers are going to sustain their experience, if they only have 10 of these to sell, well, if it costs $10,000 to make this application, well, each one is going to cost $1,000. Who's really going to do that, right? Some did, but most will not do that. But what if you're deploying this app where the ecosystem has hundreds of thousands of potential buyers? Then you could you could sell it for $10. Now it's more accessible, and now this application's like, it's a no-brainer to deploy a zombie apocalypse in your virtual land because you want people to come and shoot zombies down.
Yeah. Can you go through this MetaZone website and explain exactly what we're looking at here?
Yeah. So going to metazone.io, and you can click on any of these like popular applications here. But if you go to explore, you're able to see all the content that people have been submitting. And a lot of this stuff is games. Like, for example, we were working with CyberStrife. And
you can't really tell that that's a game, but it really is.
Yeah.
It's actually the perfect... Remember when we were back in Msquared land just now? Not M-Squirrel.
Msquared.
Msquared land.
Yeah.
And we were like thinking of like, dude, this fucking train cube or rectangle, whatever.
Yeah.
it could release some zombies if it became a meta.
That's what this is.
That is exactly what this
is. It releases enemies where people collaboratively come and do like a raid.
Yeah, basically.
And in order to take down this raid, I need your help because I can't do it myself, right? Otherwise, the generator is going to get destroyed.
So I get my parcel and I want to build a zombie game. I come buy this piece, put this on my land, and I have a piece of a zombie game.
You have a zombie game.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you can add more components to this game in different metas.
Yeah.
It's up to the creator, right? We can't guide and tell everybody how to build their ecosystems, whatever. But it's just like what we want to do with MSCRIBE. We've already done with MetaZone. We've built the tools and like the platform to enable any developer, any dev to come in and like utilize the operation system of the metaverse, which at the current moment is literally just Decentraland.
Yeah, correct.
Right. That's why all these assets on this platform are Decentraland assets, because it's the only virtual environment in existence that has supported developers.
Yeah, has an SDK. That's kind of important to get developers involved.
It's a big fucking deal. Yes. Yeah. So again, the Bitmap, whatever it is we contribute as far as Mscribed, we don't want Bitcoin to repeat the same mistakes that happened on Ethereum.
100%.
Somebody put a tweet out there. It's like, oh, didn't you guys learn? Maybe it was Trevor himself. It's like, didn't you guys learn about the failure of the metaverse? We did.
Yeah, we did.
We learned a lot, by the way. Yeah. And we're going to leverage those lessons that have been learned. And, we're not going to allow that to happen again on Bitcoin. Like, we have a whole new starting point.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the most we can to inject like the actual value to this ecosystem, right? Which is the apps.
Yeah, and some people may not agree, and they're going to have their own vision of creating the metaverse, and they're going to do it, right?
That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Right? We've have our own experience, and by that experience, we're going to be building MSCRIBE that supports what we think is going to enable a multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Right? That we believe that's actually possible. Mm-hmm. People are going to fade that, but we didn't make those predictions.
Yeah, but those shocked us too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, where are they getting this? How are they writing this math, dude?
Yeah.
Where are they getting trillions from?
Yeah.
And we sat around for like months talking about it.
Right.
Like, where are they getting this from? And then slowly we started to see it ourselves. Like, once we started to build more of like these economic components and realize like what that can turn into like down the line. And then all of the people that could take part in that, and then just like, dude, the numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, holy shit, like there's so much potential here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the value extraction that can be had in the metaverse is a $1 trillion opportunity.
Right.
And so that is our goal. That's our mission, right? If you believe what we believe, then understanding how we get there is a long roadmap.
That's true. So we said a lot of stuff already, but man, it's really important to contextualize again, because it's not going to just be us. Like the metaverse, the construction of it it's at the scale of the construction of the internet. So many people contributed to that. It was many moving parts. Lots of success and fail stories, all that. So all that's going to occur.
Yeah. So let me paint sort of another analogy. So we talked about how WordPress underpins 455 million websites out of 1.3 billion. What are the other 600 billion doing? Right? They're built using JavaScript. They're built using HTML. They're built using Webflow. Right? These are all platforms and structures that are built upon standards.
Yeah.
And so that's how you're able to create all these websites using different tools and different developer kits that allow us to go to our browser and visit every 1.3 billion websites out there.
Yeah.
Right. And so the same thing is going to happen on the metaverse. MetaZone, MSCRIBE, we're going to create our own content in a way where we think is going to be sustainable for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be others competing with that. And they're probably going to be as equally, if not more or less successful than we are.
Right.
Right.
And I think, so everything you said is perfect. And I think people who are watching this who are still on the fence or totally against everything we're saying is like, dude, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You guys are for sure going to fail. Nobody wants to live, whatever. The point is all these opportunities of everything you just outlined, like all this is infrastructure. All this is technology, basically.
Yeah.
This is all technology that's needed And the big opportunity to me is like Bitcoin has the chance now to the opportunity to like lead that initiative, right? At least for the Web3 side. I mean, of course, Ethereum has like a large community of its own. But yeah, if I was truly like a Bitcoin maxi or an Ordinal maxi, I wouldn't fade this. Like, even if you don't think anytime soon you're going to be able to make like personal gains from it,
right?
Still, just the effort alone, like the I don't know, like the
alignment, the mass alignment that's happening.
Yeah, just to know, like Bitcoin is now doing this. Like, there's people who are connected onto the Bitcoin ecosystem, and this is their mission. That's badass. Like, if I was holding a bunch of Bitcoin, dude, I'd be so much more like comfortable at night.
Yeah.
Knowing that, like, dude, people are trying to build a whole new, digital layer. On top of it, like, and that alone should be enough to kind of like dampen your fade and be like, you know what, let me just ignore it for a few years, even, and then come back and see what happens. Instead of like trying to like convince others, like, dude, don't get involved. That's not the right approach, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems so wise. It'd be like us like telling everybody, don't buy picture projects. Like, why would we do that?
Yeah.
If you want to buy it, you can. Like, if
you go back to our old timelines, like back in the Dizzy, we were first covering NFTs. We knew NFTs as a technology was important, but we saw how they were being utilized with like, art and stuff. We just didn't gravitate towards that because we were focused on building this.
Yeah.
So we're like, and what did we do? We didn't fade it. We just basically ignored it.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't talk about it much. We're like, you know what? That's interesting. Hopefully that works out. And it did.
Yeah, it did.
It fucking worked out great.
For OpenSea, it did.
Well, yeah. And for everybody collecting them early, right?
True.
So,
yeah.
If this thing works out, all these early bitmap adopters, it's going to be same thing.
Yeah, agreed.
And then, but yeah, no reason to FUD. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's going to be a long roadmap. Again, we're going to be contributing through it via MSCRIBE.io, and it's all about taking the next step, right? Satoshi Nakamoto, he took the first step. He contacted as many people as he could, including us, and for the most part, he was ignored, and we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Because we knew, as soon as we saw it, we knew how valuable this was.
Yeah.
And then since then it's exploded, and we want to continue contributing, right? We don't want to talk about it. We want to be about it.
Yep.
And so we're going to be contributing via MSCRIBE, and the next step is the parcels. And after that, it gets exponentially harder.
Right. And
exponentially harder. If you guys don't know what exponential means, it's really difficult for any human mind to understand what exponential acceleration is.
Yeah.
And it's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Right. But having said that, there are tools out there like MML, right? We already have Unity and Unreal. These things can be realized, right?
Yeah.
MetaZone is going to be contributing to the application layer, and the application layer on top of Bitcoin is going to be one of the most robust ecosystems there is.
That's our mission, dude.
So yeah, we're excited, and hopefully you guys are as well.
Yeah.
Let's call it here, man. So
yeah, we'll have more deets, like actual official details on Mscribed and stuff like that in the coming, hopefully by next week. We're really gonna. I've literally been sleeping over here and stuff like that. Like it's the grind mode is on.
Yeah, it is.
It always has been, but like now it's extra on.
Yeah.
Because now the clock's ticking,
dude. It's been fun, man. Because this like reinvigorates the fire that we had like, initially, just thinking about the metaverse. Because we had the same thesis that we have today. We had it literally on day one when we discovered Decentraland.
I totally agree.
Very similar feeling. We stayed up all night for the launch of Decentraland as well, making sure our platform was ready to support that ecosystem.
Yeah, 1000%. And here we are again.
Yeah,
because we know at some point these blocks are going to mint out, and people are going to be left like wondering, like, where are the devs?
Yeah.
Where's the value? What do we do now? What do we do next? So,
that's right.
So yeah, we know there's others out there thinking the same.
So this is exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see like what happens next, dude. So we're going to be continually covering Bitmap until it mints out, and maybe if you're watching this on Saturday, it probably already minted out. But if it hasn't, we're going to keep talking about it. And yeah, that's it for us. We talked about MML. We talked about MSCRIBE, MetaZone, the future of Bitmap. Yeah, that's it. for us. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and at Rovi AI, and we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.